click this button and say, yo, what up? How's it going, man?
It goes. It goes.
It's good to hear. So you said this deck doctor is a little weird because I'm not going to touch your main deck at all. You got a main deck. You got it where you want it.
Yep.
You want to just talk about your sideboard for the next 20 minutes, and I'm here for it. I'm down.
Yeah. So let's say this is one of my two decks that I've been leaning heavily towards taking to Kansas City. Test out the main deck. Everything's working the way that I want it to. I'm just trying to tighten up the sideboard, mainly for just having it for those particular matchups that could be troublesome.
Sure.
But I'm having issues figuring out what options to put in. So that's why it's just kind of the only thing that I was for sure on maybe was like the 2 additional Web of Blades. And actually that's really about the only thing that I was sure on having in the sideboard. Everything else was just kind of, it might be nice, but I don't know. It's a mess.
Okay. So what I need out of you is I need you just to pitch me everything in the sideboard. Why have you put these 11 cards in your sideboard to begin with, and I can yes and you or no or you know?
Okay.
So starting with the Web of Blades. We'll start from the bottom up, right? You've already got 2 Web of Blades mainboarded. When do you think you need 4 Web of Blades? What are you afraid of?
I am afraid of the speed reduction heroes, mainly Momo and Eraserhead. If I do, just the 2 of is nice for everybody else, but I feel like the ones that can do it kind of either on their face or pretty reliably, it'd be nice to have a 4 of just so I make sure that I can see it to kind of negate what they're doing.
Sure.
Midnight's the other one too, but I very rarely run into her.
Yeah.
So that and also the 2 of is mainly for bonds of friendships, but if I happen to run into somebody who's running more of those.
Okay.
Well. So.
Exploding Pride.
That was the only somewhat momentum hate that I actually have that's like not in the main board. I kind of felt like, at least what I've been playing recently, everybody's kind of gone away from getting 4, 5, 6 momentum. And I just don't know if that's because switched to trying to deal with the Ojiro meta, or if people were just tired of playing with their momentum.
Sure.
So that's just usually my default, one of the momentum hate cards on the air symbol that I had in there.
Okay. Young Heroes.
Young Heroes was just a potential damage reset. It's another green card though, so that's why I was just kind of offset with that. But again, that damage reset would be nice.
Plus Ultra.
Set 1 character that was just an auto include in there.
Teamwork.
Teamwork, because it's on the rare occasion that I feel like I would need a low block. It'd be nice to have. I did run into issues like everybody else against IDS 1.3 mil.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be nice to have a block that ignored that, the one block that ignored progressive difficulty by the time the end of that chain came. And I have quite a few different symbols that it can also work on the enhance. If I wanted to just add 5 damage, it would have worked too. But that one's mainly in there for the response.
It's interesting. Confused.
Confused was for the it's mainly for the stun. That was kind of my stun hate card on air that would somewhat maybe fit in the deck.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would be good for any keyword. I might be able to take EX or something along the lines of that, but I mainly had that in there for stun.
I actually think that this card is abysmal versus stun, because the first thing that they do is just play the stun ability, right? Like,
yeah, that's true too.
What else is so important? What other enhance is so important that they have to like take stun away? I think it's good versus powerful EX throw. I think those ones are really good. Echo, right?
Yeah.
You can take away Echo.
Yeah. Echo as well.
I think
too.
every keyword except for stun. Actually, this card's very good. This card is very good against Teaki.
Teaki is just for that response. Honestly, for
can you name me the cards that you want to bring this card in against?
for the enhance. Off the top of my head, I'm trying to think here. I cannot. The only other thing, honestly, I think with Momo, it was like quick create was one of them. And then no, that's a response on that card. Yeah, that's a response. No, that's the only one I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay. Can't escape me.
That was just for the. That's one thing I have seen in this meta is I mean, card draw is always going to be relevant in any card game.
Sure.
But it seems to be a huge push as of late, especially with like Midoriya 2. Like I said, now that Ojo's kind of changed, people are kind of going back to putting more card draw in the foundation or other cards that I've ran against. So that's what that's in there for. Stop those long chains.
And then lastly, Observant.
Zarbrant was just another one low block. That's what kind of had teamwork in there as well too. That's what that one was in there for. That one honestly might have been able to go. I might have just forgot to take that out. But I know originally that's what that was in there when I first started testing the deck.
Okay. So I like a lot of your choices here. I like a lot of them. I like the third or the Web of Blades. I don't think it needs to be a 4 of. I think 3 is probably enough.
Okay.
I think cutting it from like if you can't get the job done with these 3 Web of Blades, truthfully, the 2 mainboarded Web of Blades should be enough, right? It should be. If you can't get it done with the 3 Web of Blades, something is wrong. Something is wrong. Love the Exploding Pride for the anti momentum. Love Young Heroes. I think this card's great. Plus Ultra is very good. I'm less on Teamwork because you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cards that all share air fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to kick cards out of your card pool with Bakugo if blocked. I feel like Teamwork's bottom enhanced just isn't going to get you there, truthfully. And it being an action, I don't think is going to feel very good. It is my least favorite on the chopping block at the moment. I dig Confuse.
Gotcha.
I think Confuse is very good. Do your homework on Taiyaki and figure out what your deck is afraid of enhance-wise, right?
Okay.
Is your deck afraid of... Is your deck afraid of resets? Is your deck afraid of sticky balls? Is your deck afraid of like figure out like what pieces you want to cancel so that when you see your opponent play those pieces on board, you go, this is a matchup I need Taiyaki for. As opposed to just being like, well, I mean, he played enhances, I guess I should just cancel them. Because then you'll just find like you're dying with Taiyaki on board. Right?
Right.
Can't Escape Me is huge, right? It beats things like Latent Skill, it beats things like Destin, it beats things like Stun Grenade, and it just beats a lot of really good cards. And Observant Student, I think Observant Student is the sneaky, really good choice here. And I think you bring this card in versus these Deadlock decks. If a card has left your card pool this turn, add a ranged attack from discard pile to your hand. Adding Shocking Entrance. Stun, or do you have any other ranges? You gotta have a range, right?
No, Shocking Entrance, I think, was the only other ranged one.
If you had, I guess Exploding Pride is ranged. If you had more power moves that were ranged, Observant Student's very, very cool. Enhance Commit, find an attack card if they block is incredible. It's very, very strong.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna add anything to your sideboard because this is what you brought to me, right? If I had to make the sideboard right now, I would cut the Observant. I would cut the Teamwork. I would put the Web to 1, Exploding, love this. Let's put this to a 2 of, this to a 3 of. We're going to cut Taiyaki until you can tell me what a good card is. And then do this. Here's 8. And then from there, let's go see. Hold on, what do we have over here? That matters. We get to put one of these in here. And then we get to put one of these in here. This was supposed to be 0. This was supposed to be here. Did I already messed everything up? Oh, you got 11. Okay, so I get to cut one. Probably this release pack. Honestly, it should be Web of Blades, but like I put 3 confused in the main board. Thank you. 0. We're gonna put 3. Okay, up to 13. I mean, I just get to cut the cards I just put in, right? 0. And then I guess we put it back down to the 1 of. Genuinely, I don't think you need Web of Blades in your sideboard. I think just having the 2 main board is going to be enough. Truthfully,
I come across it pretty regularly with the 2 of. That's why I kept it as a 2 in the main. Like I said, I'm just Momo and mainly Momo and Eraserhead is what I wanted. Maybe that 1 extra for. But I feel like if I have nothing else in there across the main board, then I might be able to just hold on to those 2 that are in the main board.
Yeah, I would cut the Web of Blades out of the sideboard. Plus, your character like already has like a decent enough matchup versus these characters. Like I think you eat Eraserhead for lunch, because like if he erases your Bakugo, you still get to respond, because it's after the attack resolves, and so erase is over, and then you respond with Bakugo and then clear it. So like
that's right.
That's like you just like you already have a good matchup. Momo is a little different because like as she's stringing, she's building, and like she's weird, right? She's just a good ass character.
She was one of the main characters. Why I have 4 Mentor Legacies in there, and plus the other myriad of great stuff that's responses that can be negated.
Yeah. I think this is very cool tech versus her. As long as you're down there on the 2 check, I mean, you have the tool, right?
Yeah.
This is probably what I would run, right? Like you can get rid of powerful. This stops the any draw on things like this. Actually stops the build on back alley, right? Like if they attempt to draw or build, you're like, no, I don't think so. So I'll lose 1 to make sure that you don't. Like,
yeah, coping with number 1 has been on a huge rise as well too. I've been playing a lot in locals, so
okay, I love that. This card also stops things like Lost in Thought, because they add a card to their hand from their stage.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So like if they're trying to get rid of your latent skill, they try to get rid of your capabilities. If they try to get rid of your whatever, right? You're just like, no, I can't escape me. And then at Deadlock, this thing just gets mega fast. Kill them with it.
Yeah.
Easy. This is probably what I would do for the sideboard.
Okay.
So here's the homework, right? Obviously, sideboards are where it's at. You need to figure out 2 things, right? Number 1, when you play against X competitive deck, right? When you play against Jiro, Momo, Eraser, whatever, make a mental list, make a physical list of these cards come in, and then these cards come out, right? And obviously, you can change it up on the fly as you need to. It's not written in stone. It's not a law that's what you have to do. And then take and look at the cards that you have and be like, what decks am I afraid of? Are these things actually doing something versus it, right? What happens when my opponent plays Tokoyami, right? What cards in my side is my main board good enough? And if it's not good enough, what cards in my sideboard go in, right? Can't Escape Me feels very good. Confused feels very good. Plus Ultra feels pretty good. Special Sound feels pretty good. Young Heroes, right? Young Heroes is incredible versus Dark Shadow Ruin, right? They get the bonus from the action. You just discard the card and say, yo, you don't get the +1 from that. Which means like this card is very, very good versus like that matchup. But unless you really think about it right now, outside of the match, you won't think, oh shit, Young Heroes, I can do that versus Tokoyami, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Figure out what goes in, figure out what comes out when it comes to like Like, because it's very easy to be like, yo, these 10 cards are so sick. But if you're not willing to be like, yo, first impressions is a beautiful side out card when I go second to put in the 4th specialist, right?
Yep.
Because like this card's way better going second than this card is. Maybe I don't need season going second. I should have plus ultra. Maybe Sports Festival Stadium might get me killed. I should play Young Heroes. Things like that, right?
Yep.
Legacy Punch. The 2-check is really rocking me. I should play Exploding Pride instead. It still covers that same high block zone. There's like what goes in, what comes out should be like your thought process here. Gotcha. And don't be afraid to be like, yo, I'm taking out this high block to play this low block. That's an okay thing to do, as long as you're like willing to understand of like when you're fighting Nomu, this card's not very good.
Yep.
This card's going to be way better, right? This card's going to be way better. There's those ideas, you know?
Got it.
Any questions? Final thoughts?
No, I think, like I said, I'm just got to kind of streamline that and then to think about the homework deal as well, too. Because I said I don't have locals, so what I play online is essentially what I get to see.
What are you doing Friday?
Nothing at the moment.
When I signed up for Unfun Friday this week, first off, Unfun Friday is free this week. So for everybody in chat
it is.
as well.
I've seen that, yeah.
It's free. Double prizes. I signed up yesterday and we had 19 people. So if you're looking to test your metal, you have a 19-man local that you get to go play in, you know?
Yeah.
I would suggest it. With that, stay on the line long enough for me to shoot you the list back, and you have a great night, okay?
Yeah, you do the same, Tam. Thanks.
And you're very welcome. Thank you.